What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, today we're doing something I've wanted to do for a couple weeks now, rolling a Grimoire Riven. Basically, I got super lucky, and the first pistol Riven I unveiled was for the Grimoire. But I definitely wanted to wait until I was at least rank 5 of the Syndicate to be rolling this thing. So we'll be going over that today. Basically talking about what stats I'm looking for on this Grimoire Riven, what you can go for if you have a Grimoire Riven, if you're looking to get one, and things like that. So before we get into it, make sure you're subbed to this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads. Happy holidays, everyone. And yeah, there will be lots of videos this week on the current Whispers in the Wall update. There's some problems I do have with Netracell, so definitely expect the Netracell rant video that is, I guess apparently a long time coming for some of you guys, very soon. But for today, let's keep it on a positive note. We have the Grimoire right here. So in the background footage, I'm showing a DPS build in the Grimoire, Corrosive Heat in the Simulacrum against level 195 Steel Path Heavy Gunners. And funny enough, this actually is with a Riven in the footage. It might not look very different than a normal Grimoire performance, but that's because the Grimoire has 0.5 Dispo Rivens. If you've never rolled a Riven before, don't know much about Rivens in this game, what a 0.5 Dispo Riven means is it's the lowest stats possible, because it's a new weapon. That's the way that DE does things. I'm not a really huge fan of it, but that's how DE does stuff. When a new weapon comes out, these little dots over here tells you how strong the Riven will be. The less dots that you have filled in, the weaker the Riven is. And since it's a brand new weapon, it has 0.5 Dispo. So we got this Riven right off the bat, Grimoire Satiata. Keep in mind, this is technically a tome mod as far as the game is concerned. And this is a DPS build. I don't usually use this, but I made this build basically just for this footage right here. But normally, I'm using a utility build on this Grimoire, so I'm looking more to roll my Riven for a build like this. So as far as the stats we have on this build, the tome mod can change. These new tome mods come from Mere Defense, and the thing about these is it's more utility focused. This gives you no actual damage on your weapon. You release the alt fire, and the alt fire increases your power strength for your frame for every enemy you hit up to 15 times. So things like that are not going to be affected by damage stats really at all. But some things that will affect it, as we saw in the footage right there, projectile flight speed does affect how far the orb will go and how fast it flies for that matter. And also, negative projectile flight speed will make the orb fly slower and shock enemies more often. But there is a little trick you can do where you shoot the orb at the ground anyway to shoot enemies in front of you and shock them multiple times in the first place. So negative projectile speed could be good, but also it is not entirely necessary. So if we do have a good negative projectile speed, we'll look for it. But if not, it's not the end of the world. But stats I'm looking for on here, I'm looking for definitely plus multi-shot. Multi-shot influences how fast you can charge your meter back up. I'm also going to be looking for potentially plus an elemental. Either plus toxin would be great. Plus toxin would be really great, actually, because that can become corrosive or viral. Or I'd be okay with crit damage as well, as we are about 54% crit chance with all these mods on here. And just to show that this is technically a tome mod, we go over to the tome mod section over here, and the Riven mod is in the tomes for some reason. So yeah, it can't roll Jahu Canticle powers, but it can definitely get multi-shot and damage. So let's start rolling. I'm definitely gonna be commentating on this as we go. I don't have a ton of time to record the video today, but let's go until we get something better or just good. So right now we got 62% multi-shot, 107% damage. Basically a side grade to Lethal Torrent. Probably a downgrade actually, Lethal Torrent on this thing. So let's get it started. Happy holidays to everybody. Okay, so our first roll is minus status chance. Definitely not good, but plus status duration and fire rate are pretty good for a procer build. But yeah, we can't take minus status chance on this thing. But yeah, I've actually seen somebody use a negative projectile speed Riven on this thing, and it's pretty interesting. You know what I have not seen, though, is I have not seen what punch through does on this. So we got punch through, status chance, and multi-shot with no negative. It's only 48% multi-shot, definitely a lot lower than what we already have. And it's only 35% status chance too. So I'm going to probably pass on that because I don't remember what punch through does on this thing. I'm guessing that punch through it just ruins it, so let's not do that. But yeah, moving on to the next one here. We got minus status duration this time. We got minus weapon recoil, plus heat, plus fire rate, minus status duration. I actually wouldn't mind a fire rate Riven at all, because I am running vital acceleration on my build to give more, or whatever it's called. Oh, here we go. What is this? Okay, we got plus heat, plus toxin, plus critical damage, minus projectile speed. Okay, well, that would give us 2 elementals on our build. It would let us fit on more elementals on the entire sub, and it would give us crit damage too. But we have no multi-shot. Let's actually grab this one. Let's grab this one for now. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this affects the projectile speed in the sim. Let's also see what the build looks like after I equip that. So we got a double elemental Riven. So on the build we had before, we're still on corrosive and heat, but we could technically take off one of these elemental mods now if we wanted to, I think. Yep, if we can take off the toxin mod now. Interesting. I don't know if that's actually going to end up being a good thing in the end or not, but we did get a little bit of... Wait, we have fire rate for something. It's just fire rate for the other build. Okay. I'm alright with that. So we can put on Lethal Torrent in that slot if I have enough capacity. I'm somewhat interested. Let's go take a look at the projectile speed in the Captura, actually. Let's go to a new Captura scene. Here we go. New Captura scene. So let's just see if we can notice that orb being a lot slower. With that 35% negative projectile. And I'll summon in some enemies too, so we can re-summon, or re-stack the I keep want to call it Incarnon meter. The meter for the orb, whatever that is called, or it's supposed to be called. Alright, so... Oh, it's definitely a lot slower. I actually kind of like that. It still has the same amount of travel time. Let's recharge that up. Oh, the primary shots do go a lot slower now, though. I'm not sure. I think I actually kind of like this. Okay, that should be recharged. So now I can actually bullet jump a lot further than the orb goes. Well, I'd like to know in the comments down below, guys. Would you prefer plus projectile or minus projectile on this weapon? I think I'm pretty happy with this Riven already somehow. We got crit damage, we got double elemental, and we got a negative that I actually like. So I might actually just stop right there. Let's go test out the DPS in the sim. But I think this actually might be a keeper. You know what? I take it back. Let's roll at least one or two more times just because, you know, it's way too early to stop. This is a Riven rolling video here, not a give up video. We could do better than that, right? Let's get like at least 2 or 3 more rolls in here. Although I am quite happy with how that turned out. Double elementals, you can't really mod for that normally on a single mod, so pretty nice. Okay, we got plus projectile speed and plus corpus. I think I'm gonna it has to be a really good roll for me to bypass this. The reason I like this one so much is because it replaces a mod slot, kind of. Okay, we do lose status chance technically if we take off that 60-60 mod, but I mean we can put so many different mods in that slot. Oh, what do we have here? Plus corrosive, plus status duration, and plus weapon recoil. So plus weapon recoil would be a totally free negative from what I think. And plus double elemental again, and then plus status duration. For a procer build, this might be one of the god rolls right here. I mean, it would be forcing you to have like corrosive, but I think I'm gonna stick with this one because we can do more different variations with that. I don't want to be stuck with corrosive, although viral electric on that one could also be pretty good. Let's see what we got this time. We got critical damage, electric, and damage to Grineer. Pretty decent for a different weapon, but not really for this. Let's get like 1 or 2 more in here. Then we'll go to the sim and take a quick look. I gotta head out. Damage and critical damage. If it was not 0.5 dispo, maybe. All right, we'll do 1 more. Then we'll go take a look at that DPS. Minus fire rate. Okay, well, that's enough for now. If you guys have rolled a punch through Riven on the Grimoire and want to give me, give me your results on it, let me know it down in the comments down below. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with that one. I'm not expecting super big things out of this, but I got the negative I wanted. I got 2 elementals on there. I got critical damage for a DPS build, I guess. This is not really a DPS weapon to me. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the minus projectile. So let's just go ahead and see how it shocks them. And we'll do with the Riven and without the Riven just to show the difference there. Alright, so let's start without the Riven, actually. So let's do the exact same DPS build. I also want to see how much the orb travels. Okay. So Grimoire... Only 3 heavy gunners? Oh yeah, because the Captura overrode that. We'll just do butchers then. Okay, so yeah. I have seen a lot of people trying to sell Grimoire Rivens, and I just don't really think they're super worth it right now, just to be honest. Alright, so orb going out. Okay, it bounces off the wall and keeps shocking those guys in the back. Stops about midway through. So let's do projectile, negative projectile speed Riven now. And see how far it travels. Alright, so we're going to probably need to rebuild this meter here too. Alright. I think it definitely hangs out and shocks them. Okay, so I mean, it's only 35% negative. So it bounced to here, and then without the negative, it bounced to about here. So, I mean, it is a difference. If the Rivens of this thing ever get buffed, it will make a bigger difference. But I'm actually quite happy with this. It'll be like a kind of like a pseudo melee weapon a little bit. Now there might be situations where it's worse. Like for example, if I want to hit all these enemies with the orb, it probably is not going to hit all those guys at the end there. But it will let me. I mean, 100,000 shock proc is pretty decent, so I'm actually enjoying this quite a bit. So yeah, maybe look out for some more videos on the Grimoire very soon on my channel. I do usually just use it as a utility weapon, so let's see if it can actually fit on the utility build too while we're here. Where would I put that on here? I don't even know if I would run that Riven on utility build, honestly. Is it better than Lethal Torrent? I don't think so. It's got minus projectile speed and double elemental. So on the DPS build, sure. On the utility build, probably not. So I'll see you guys next one. Happy holidays and take it easy. Peace.